Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us again for another episode of LECOM's Heroes in Training podcast. I'm Kathleen Spinazzola, your host. Today, I am with Brian Martin, who's a fourth-year student in the Doctoral program in Anatomy Education. Thanks for being here, Brian.
Thanks for having me on.
So let me just ask you right out of the gate to tell us about yourself a little bit, where you're from, and how you made your decision to come to LECOM.
Yeah, it's a multi-year journey. I will spare you all the details, but I grew up in the east end of the state of Pennsylvania, and went to undergrad focusing on educational studies and mathematics, and was teaching at a high school then for a number of years. And I've always been interested in medicine and considered pursuing a degree in nursing education.
Right.
Ultimately, I went more of the route of anatomy, and so I did a master's. And then I taught for a couple of years, adjuncting here and there. And then I found the anatomy education program at LECOM. And I checked most of the boxes that I was looking for.
Yeah.
So here I am.
That's fantastic. Can you remember how you sort of came to be interested in anatomy, coming from a math background?
Yeah. I mean, I had to choose a major in undergrad, and it was like physics,
at some point, right?
Physics or biology or mathematics. And ultimately, I chose mathematics. But I tried to squeeze as many science courses in my electives as I could. So it's always been a lifelong passion of mine.
Oh, that's so great. And so you're a fourth year. Tell us what the journey through these last 3 years of your life has been like. I know, in a nutshell.
Yeah, so the first year, you're taking a lot of coursework, anatomy, histology, embryology, neuroanatomy, physiology, and all those good courses. And you start looking at possible things you're interested in as far as your dissertation goes. You submit some ideas to the faculty, and they give you some guidance there. Year two, you start to really hone in. You do a literature review, just see what people have done and what perhaps you can add to the field. Again, presenting ideas to a committee, and they sort of help and guide and direct that. And you come up with a program to make sure that it's rigorous and follows the current practices and things like that. So then year three, you're also working on that fairly heavily, developing your studies and getting participants and that kind of thing. And over years 2 and 3, you're also a teaching assistant in the anatomy lab, in the neuroscience lab. So a lot of interaction with the students, honing your skill as a teacher and interacting with the medical students.
Right, which is everything, because it's not just anatomy, it's anatomy education, right? So you want to sort of cut your teeth right away on getting in front of a classroom of students, I imagine, right? Yeah. And now tell me a little bit about cadaver dissection.
Yeah, so I've had a significant background in that with my master's degree and things, so I really enjoy working with the human body, and it's just so amazing to see some of the structures that you're used to seeing on pictures, looking at anatomy textbooks and that kind of thing, but there's nothing quite like actually dissecting and being hands-on. There's a little bit of an initial surprise maybe, or maybe ickiness factor that may be a little strong, that needs to be overcome. But one of the things that I've used to think about that is these people have specifically donated their body so that I can learn, and
the world
in
can
that
benefit.
way, it becomes a very personal gift that they've given.
Yes.
And so, you treat it with respect, and you do your best by learning from that gift. Right,
which is huge.
Yeah.
And I'm sure nothing can compare. You imagine how it's going to go, and then when you're actually in the lab, it's another situation altogether, right?
It's often harder than you would anticipate.
Right. Do you have what can you tell us about any single experience with dissection? You have something special that sort of stands out in your mind in that process?
Yeah. So as part of the Ph.D. program, we get to do special dissections where we come up with a proposed project that gets approved by the department chair, and it's wide open. So you can follow something that you're very interested in. For example, one semester I followed all the little bronchioles out in the lungs and dissected away all the tissue. So that was very interesting. This year, I'm doing a bunch of comparative anatomy things where I'm staining bones of cows and ducklings and things. So it really is wide open, and you get to experience and do a lot of different things with that.
Sort of dive deeper into the things that really interest you.
Yeah, yep. And then we present at the end of the semester. We give a presentation to all the anatomy faculty on what we did over that semester.
Terrific.
Yeah.
That's great. And you touched earlier a bit on your dissertation. So now this is like a shift into another whole project.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
What's your dissertation
so my
looking like?
dissertation, again, it's an education-based program. And so I developed some educational models. Specifically, I created a 3-dimensional model of the human brainstem and an animation of kidney development. And now I'm comparing those 2 models against more traditional images and checking to see if my models are more effective than the traditional 2D images.
What kind of can I ask you like a layman's maybe stupid question? What kind of how did you do that?
So for the
like what kind of technology, I guess, is what I'm trying to get
for
at.
the 3D model,
the
3D model, I just took an MRI stack and using something called a Mira Aviso, which is a fairly common software used in the sciences to model things. I just went in and highlighted all the structures that I needed to, and then reconstituted them to create a 3D manipulable image. And then for my animation, I use Blender, which is an open software that's used in the movie editing world.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's so interesting. I know nothing about any of these things. I'm like today years old that I'm learning about this right now. That's so fascinating. So let me ask you this, Brian. What do you think, where do you want to go?
Yeah.
What's next?
Teaching is in my blood. I mean, I've been teaching for I don't know how long, 12 years or something like that now. From middle school to high school to undergraduate to graduate to medical school.
Right.
So I've really have a broad
education is in your bones.
It's there.
No pun intended.
So I'm not super picky or specific on what exactly I want to teach, but teaching of some kind somehow.
Right. Do you have a population that you enjoy? 12-year-olds, 20-year-olds?
Probably undergraduate would be my preference.
Yeah.
But medical school would be an option as well if the right opportunity comes up.
The world is open to you. Do you feel like that when you finish here?
Sort
You're just
of.
going to have all kinds of sort of choices?
If you're willing to work and keep your options open, you can usually find work.
Yeah. You're going to leave equipped to do anything in this field.
Well, in this field, yeah.
Right. Do you think, if you had to give advice to a prospective student who's thinking about anatomy education or something here at LECOM, what would be your advice to them as far as getting here, and getting through the program?
Yeah, dive in.
I love that advice.
Dive in, get your feet wet. Make sure you have a support system, a Ph.D. Roughly 2% of the population has one, and there's a reason for that. They are difficult. And so you're going to spend, in this program, 4 years of your life working very hard, being pushed to do things you've never done before. And so that's stretching. Sometimes it's overwhelming, but you do have a committee and you have senior PhD students who can help guide you along those ways.
Right. It can be done.
It can be done, yeah.
One of the things that you just reminded me of an earlier podcast that we did with Dr. Randy Kaleza, right, who heads the LECOM School of Graduate Studies, that what he looks for in a student is passion. He's a very passionate person, and I feel like with you and with other students that I've interviewed, the passion for this field is there, and that's what gets you through, I think.
Yeah. There's an old saying in education that nobody likes to drink from a stagnant pool.
Right.
And so if your teacher is up there vomiting information in a monotone and this water's been sitting there for a long time.
Like, why
are we
here?
Very different
right.
from someone who's excited about the material.
Very dynamic.
And makes it applicable and interacts with the audience.
Right.
Very different experience.
Right. So if you have that interest, if you feel like you have that passion sort of brewing inside you, dive in, as Brian says. Thanks so much for joining us today. Brian, that's a lot of information.
Yeah, well, thank you for having me on.
I hope we get to talk again another time. I feel like I want to circle back in 2 years and find out, well, maybe 1 year, and find out where you're at.
Yeah.
All right, everybody, remember to like and subscribe. We're on YouTube, the podcast channels that you find most podcasts, Spotify, Apple, iHeart, and follow us on all the social media platforms. Thanks so much. We'll see you next time.